We're learning new details about the suspect in the Christmas parade tragedy. Last night, hundreds of people braved the cold weather to hold a candlelight vigil for victims. 5 people were killed, including a couple of members of the Dancing Grannies. Police have arrested 39-year-old Darrell Brooks, who they say was leaving the scene of a domestic dispute when he allegedly tore through the parade. There is video of his arrest from someone's front porch. He was at a home saying he was waiting for an Uber, and that's when police apprehended him. We're also learning that he was out on a $1,000 cash bail after allegedly hitting his ex and purposely running her over with his vehicle. Now, a lot of people today are asking, should we have been out, or should he rather have been out on bail, especially given his lengthy rap sheet, having been charged with 16 crimes since 1999 alone? That's the exact question, because there's people that are locked up in jail for possession of, drugs, nonviolent crimes, can't get out on bail because they don't have the funds. And then you have someone like this with a rap sheet that gets off on bail. How does that make sense?
Well, that's the question, Sam. And this is something that I talked to a friend of mine. We were covering yet another police violence video a couple months ago. And I called my buddy whose brother is a cop. And I was like, what does he say about police brutality and everything that's going on? And his brother said something interesting. I had never thought about it. He was like, I am a police officer in a major city. I'm not going to say the city. And he was like, we lock people up like this guy every week. And they're out almost before our next shift.
Wow.
And so these kinds of people also, like a person like this, will have 1 or 2 strikes. So now, Jeff, you're thinking about going home to your kids, but also you know that you've pulled this person over. They might be on their 2nd strike and they might not be willing to go to jail that day. And so now what? It's going to make you more jumpy. It's going to make the jails more crowded because people are in there for nonsense. Parking tickets, mothers that can't afford $150 bail sit in our jail cells while this guy wanders around. So this is what happens when we misuse things that are there for a reason. They're not there for somebody smoking pot behind a high school football game. They are there for people like this. And when the jails are full and people like this can't fit, well, then we'll see them on the parade route.
Yeah. I mean, it's a for-profit system. And when you have that kind of a system, you're going to get not the healthiest results. And I think you're absolutely right. It's overpopulated at Rikers. They're not feeding them. There's no water. I mean, people are getting COVID left and right. It's outrageous. And yet we're letting people like this out. So the whole thing, the system needs to be dismantled and started from the beginning. It really does.
All that being said, what should happen to this man specifically?
Well, he's going to be charged with 5 homicides, and I doubt he'll ever see the light of day again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, I agree with everything that you guys all just said, but to piggyback off what Jeff is getting to, if I was one of those family members, I would be out for blood, knowing in my head that this individual should still be locked up if it weren't for a technicality or for having someone that he knows or himself paying that bail. So will he see the light of day? I mean, will he go to jail and ever see the light of day, Tori? Will there be some reason where he won't be up for the death penalty? And I know that we've had this conversation on the show before, and I myself have said, listen, I have trouble supporting the death penalty, but in cases like this, I wish there was like an asterisk.
And that's hard
because it's on video.
Right, but the problem is that there's asterisks on the other side, too, of innocent people being killed. I
agree.
And that's why I'm against it, but I hear you for the justice and the vengeance of what you want. There's no way this man will be released on any bail, because at this point he's had so much public eye on him. You will see him locked up. He's now been charged for 5 homicides. The DOJ will take care of it if the police don't. So don't expect to see Darrell Brooks out
I just don't know if he's who we should be talking about, Sam. I think we should be questioning our politicians in the system that let him out.
Right.
This person will never hear from them again, especially after.
But we should be talking about him. I understand what your points you're making, and you as well. But when we see a school shooter, and this is the equivalent of a school shooter, we say, what were the red flags?
Right.
How come we didn't see this? And there were writing on the wall. There was writing on the wall, not for this particular instance, but we do have to look at this man.
No, he'd run over his girlfriend.
So we do have to look at this man, and we can't just blame the system.
No,
but how does this man get out into the public?
Exactly.
Why is he near your family?
Exactly.
Is my issue. And I want answers. I want a politician to sit and explain how this works in the law. And I think that's what we demanded, rather than looking for blood for this person. We could save a lot more people in your community.
Totally.
You know,
it's the system that let him out.
Right. I just don't understand.
I know.